Hey, what's up, everyone? Hope you're doing great. When you get a chance, if you can, if you're enjoying the comment, hit the little button at the bottom there that says subscribe. Give us a like on this video. Share it with your friends so we can grow the channel. We really appreciate you stopping by to listen in. And today we're going to talk about, are you an asset or are you a liability? And when we talk about assets and liabilities, we're not going to be talking about money. We're going to talk about being an asset or a liability to the people around you. Are you an asset or a liability to your family? Are you an asset or a liability to your friends, to your acquaintances, people around you, people in business? Are you an asset or liability to society, right? Those things all matter tremendously. And when you look at the difference between an asset and a liability in society, there's two totally different spectrums. First, we're going to look at the liability, right? The liability is a person that says they have these are people that live with no consequences in their life on their decision making. They have they have lived by no consequences on how they could affect their family, their kids, their spouse, how they can affect their friends, acquaintances, society in general. A good example of that could be a person that just lives a life where they don't care about how they could affect others. Meaning, if you're a person that you don't think twice about, let's say for an example, you don't think twice about getting drunk or getting high or being under the influence of drugs, well, then you're a liability where you don't really care about what can happen and the difficulty that you can cause from your decisions that you're making on a continuous basis to your family. That's a liability. If you're a spouse, are you a person that constantly cheats on your spouse, that goes out of your marriage, goes different places, hides things? If that's the case, then you're a liability to your marriage. Are you a liability to your friends? Are you a person that, for an example, when you hang out with your friends, all right, are you the person that puts them in a liability? Are you the one that encourages that behavior that's not productive? Are you the one that encourages the behavior that leads to vices, the behavior that leads to the drinking, to the drugs, to being unfaithful, to doing things that you wouldn't want your kids to do, your spouse to see you doing, all those different things? If you're that type of person with your friends, then what happens is now you're a liability for others. And when you're a liability for others, you bring nothing to the table. You bring nothing to the table. You, as a matter of fact, you subtract so much out of the equation. You're not positive at all around those people around you. And at the same time, for society, the decisions you make when you're a liability are so important because you can really affect society around you based off the decisions you make on a daily basis. And you really have to process that and think about that and ask yourself, on a daily basis, am I an asset or am I a liability? We're going to go over what an asset is now, right? But most people that are liabilities, they don't even realize that they're liabilities. They don't even realize it. They think what they're doing is okay, but they are a massive liability where people don't hang out with that individual. Spouses don't want them hanging out with that person. Friends don't want them hanging out with that person, right? And people on the outside don't want to do business with you. They don't want to associate with you because you're considered a massive liability, right? Now, when you look at the side of being an asset, that's the total opposite. A person that's an asset is a person that when they're around their family, they bring tons of value. If you're a husband or a wife, if you're a father or a mother and you're around your kids, you bring value to them, right? You can talk to them. You can bring them value. You could give them education. You could talk about experiences, failures that you have. You bring great value towards them. You're an asset if you're not a person that constantly your family needs to be worried, what vice are you going to be under? Are you going to be under the bottle? Are you going to be under the drugs? You're going to be under the pills? Are you going to be under smoking something today? Are you a person that's an asset? You don't have to worry about those things. When you're an asset, you are a person that they don't worry about none of that stuff because they know you don't have any of those habits that could be destructive to your family. Same thing when you go outside with your circle of friends and your influences around you. When you're an asset, spouses want you to hang out with their spouses because you're an asset to them. When you're going to do business with others, they want to do business with you because you're an asset to them. You bring qualities that they want to have around. So you're an asset. In your marriage, they want to have you around. Why? Because if you're a good person and you want to have a good marriage, you want to deal with a person that's an asset in your marriage, in your family. Because that individual is a person that could help you grow. That person is a person that you know is going to try his best to move forward in the right direction, to have forward progress, to do the right things on a daily basis. And when you have that, you turn yourself into an asset on a daily basis. The key has to be that we have to have more assets around that we're involved in than liabilities. And all of us have had liabilities in our lives. We've all made dumb decisions, but you can't continue to be a liability and expect to have a good circle around you. Can't expect to have your kids to love you and respect you. And you can't, a lot of people say that people are just supposed to love you the way you are. Well, I don't know about that, right? You have to be an asset. Love is earned. You have to earn that from your kids, from your spouse, from your friends, from your acquaintances, right? Trust is earned from others. That's when you're an asset. When you're a liability, you're subtracting all the time. You're becoming negative, right? You're negative in your bank account. And I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about your emotional bank account. You're negative because you're just a liability. You're subtracting, and you're making your people around you not want to be around you. Your spouse is not to be around you. So you have to ask yourself, are you being an asset? Are you being a liability? And you have to look at the differences and say, how can I become more of an asset? How can I be more productive? How can I bring more value to the people around me, closest to you, furthest to you, to society? And how can I remove the things that turn me into a liability? If you have things that are high liabilities right now, start removing them one by one. Whatever it is, start with one thing. Maybe it's the drink. Maybe it's the drugs. Maybe it's smoking cigarettes. Whatever it is, I don't know what it is for you. Whatever that liability is, start fixing that one by one. Be honest with yourself, and you'll see you'll start turning into an asset. And you talk about those things that you fixed that were liabilities, and now you become more of an asset because you can teach others what you did to fix that. Now you become a tremendous asset, not only around you, but to society in general. I hope this message was valuable to you guys. If you can, hit the subscribe button at the bottom. Give me a thumbs up. Send this out to friends. Share it with others. Appreciate your time logging into the channel. Looking forward to see you later. Bye-bye.